Manchester United have some new transfer targets, as we've seen lately. I have not reacted to these transfer targets yet, unfortunately, but it looks like these targets are Zirkzee, Ligt, and mainly Yoro from Lille. So we're gonna try and react to these three. There's also more. There's also this guy from Uruguay. I forgot his name, but he's the CDM from Uruguay. So Manchester United are looking at these different targets, and hopefully we can get some of these deals done over the summer. The transfer window, there's still some time, but time is ticking. You want to get these players in, especially because of preseason. We don't want the same thing to happen that's happened past years, where we get new signings in, but we never have these players ready for preseason. So what we'll do today is we're going to react to these players. We're going to see how good they are. We're going to see how and where they fit in this Manchester United team, and see how Ten Hag can use them throughout the season, and see if they are really worth pursuing. So without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it. We're going to start with Zirkzee here. And what I want to see from Zirkzee is some pace. I want to see some finishing. I want to see a player who... because I've heard good things about Zirkzee, and what I'm seeing right now is his technical ability. And so far, I like it. Just his first few seconds. I know I'm gassing it, but I like it. The strength there. Well done. Because something you get with Haaland is a good player. He's good on a one-on-one, but he cannot do these things that Zirkzee is doing. Oh, good touch there. Fantastic touch. He seems very, very creative, and he has the technical ability to... This is a fantastic goal. Very creative, and he has the ability to, execute on that creativeness. Because you have a guy like Anthony who's also very creative, but at times he can't execute on. It's like his brain and his technical ability are not on par with each other. With Zirkzee, what I'm seeing so far is that ability that he has to, execute on those moments. Like the pass he got, takes it inside and then puts the ball behind the net. You need players like that in your team. And there's that pace. I was going to sign him actually on my career mode. We're going to be back streaming on Sunday, but I was going to sign him, but then I went for Openda. And I would still like us to go for Openda in real life, but it just seems like Openda, his price tag is just way too much. So Zirkzee is also another very good option. My thing is just Ten Hag, and this is another reason why you need Zirkzee to come in as soon as possible. Ten Hag, very good quick feet, very good build control, strength to keep the ball inside the four lines. Fantastic finish, good finish. But yeah, what was I saying? It was we need Zirkzee in quickly because Ten Hag needs to figure out who his main option is going to be. Hopefully he's not signing Zirkzee just for the sake of signing him. Sorry. We do need another striker, but is Zirkzee going to be a number one striker, or is Haaland going to continue to be a number one striker, and then we'll have Zirkzee coming off the bench? He needs to figure that out as soon as possible. So far, I like it, but it's only so much. It's only so much you can talk about in these clips. There's only so much you can see. Zirkzee looks good. Zirkzee looks good, but again, we need to see how he fits in this team. This is why we need these players in before preseason starts. Get these players involved with the team. See how they link together. See how Zirkzee, because he likes to come in and he's very creative. Let's see how he links up with Bruno. I think he's gonna link up with Bruno perfectly, but we still need to see that. So as soon as we do this, the sooner that we do this deal, the better. Pass there, good run. Good, takes it inside, took inside quite well. But I need to see some more of that Zirkzee finishing. He didn't score a lot of years last year for Bologna, but it's like I don't like to judge these young strikers just in terms of their goal scoring records. But for example, Haaland, one of the reasons why I was excited about Haaland is that when he was scoring, you could see that his finishing was very, very polished. He was scoring the right type of goals. And with Zirkzee coming in again, it's that competition that you also need for the team. That's a good finish as well. I want to see some headers. I want to see some tap-ins as well. These finishes, you expect your striker to finish those ones. Takes it inside, over the keeper. That's another good one. Angle cutting in, but still put it behind the net. Well done. That's not. Very good on a one-on-one, though, and very good on the build-up play as well. His long-range shot is not very good, at least from what I've seen so far. Because pretty much every shot he's taken outside the box, the keeper has saving it. So I'm not impressed about that. But again, these clips are too short for us to give like a very strong verdict. You need to watch him play. We need to see him in pre-season to know if he's going to be worth it or not. But good finish again. We just need him. I mean, long answer short, we need to see him play more with the squad. See him play with those players. To see him face some newer competition. Good touch there. Good run. That is very good. But again, I've already seen it that he's very good. He's very technical. He's gonna get past the keeper, and he's gonna be able to put the ball behind the net. What I want to see more is more of those tap-ins. Is more of those finishes outside the box. The very easy finishes, being at the right place at the right time. Then there's also hard finishes, the more challenging ones. That's a good run. That's what I need my striker to do, because most of your goals will come from situations like this. Most of your goals won't come from you beating 3, 4, 5 men in a row. You're not going to be scoring a lot of those messy goals. And even Messi and Ronaldo, most of their goals came as tap-ins. They were just at the right place at the right time, and they had teammates that were able to put them in those situations. So I want to see Zirkzee score a bit more of those. Again, maybe he has. Maybe it just wasn't shown in this clip because it isn't as flashy. But, Again, I'll leave the link to Colo99 channel in the description. We're going to give in back to the next one. And the next one is Leny Yoro. We all know the problems we've had in the centre-back position this year. We all know that Rafael Varane is gone from the team. So we need how do you say it? We need that second option, or we need this new centre-back options, this new centre-back pairing. We need someone to be solid next to Martinez, because we've seen what happens when Martinez has a partner next to him. We all know what Martinez and Varane were able to do last season. They were able to have the best defensive record in the Premier League last year. I think that's something Ten Hag is aiming towards. If not the best record, at least we need to be within the top 3, top 5. It shouldn't be one of the worst defenses in the league. We shouldn't be conceding as many goals as we were conceding last season. So it is very important for us to get the right centre-back in. And I don't know, at least from the reports here, I've not watched Leny Yoro just yet. That's why we're doing this today. But at least from the reports that I've seen, he seems to be lanky, good on the ball, and then we're going to react to him. But I want to see from Leny Yoro, what I want to get is to see how close he is to Rafael Varane. This is what I'm going to be seeing from first Yoro here, and then the Ligt, is I want to see how close these guys are to being the Rafael Varane, to being that calm, tall, composed player that's good on the ball that Martin is going to need next to him to be successful. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Again, I want to see calm. I want to see composed. I want to see good on the ball. I want to see strong in the air. That's a good clearance there. If he tracks this back, perfect tackle. Perfect timing. He does as well. There it is, good on the ball. This is going to be very, very important, because if we want to be able to play from the back, this is also one of the reasons why Ten Hag brought in Onana. If we want to be able to play from the back, if we want to be able to play the way Ten Hag wants to play, we need to be able. We need to have these players that are also good on the build-up play. And here he's being pressured. He's being pressured, but he keeps his calm. He stays composed, and he looks for the right pass. This is going to be very, very important for our team going forward. Very, very important. For Nana, for Kirby Mainu, for whoever comes in to replace Casemiro, for Martinez, we need our players at the back to be very good on the ball. Good clearance there, good touch. Again, and that size in him. He's lanky, he's tall, so it's very hard for defenders to try and get past him. He's going to be able to close people down. He shut him down completely. This is what I want to see a bit more. And he's skinny, but he's not scared to be physical. Very good. Good clearance there. And another thing is, as skinny as he is, you always think of a player like Ronaldo or even Varane when he first went to Real Madrid. It's like these players, they're going to be able to grow into their frame. And Leny Yoro, he's extremely young. Yoro's extremely young. So not only are we going to get a player that's like, he's got the potential now, but especially for the future, we're going to get a player that's going to be able to grow into his frame, to grow into the type of play that we need at Manchester United. That is very important for us. Very, very important. Good clearance there. Again, not afraid at all to put a tackle in. He seems to be aggressive. He seems to want it. And another thing is, he's going to have a lot more confidence playing with a centre-back like Martinez. Still on his man. And then again, with his frame, he's able to quickly track back and recover from that position. Very good block there as well. I'm liking what I've seen so far. I am liking what I've seen so far. And another thing is, I've not talked about it yet, but Leny Yoro, he seems to be out. He scored 2 goals already. I didn't speak about it, but with a player that tall, 6'3", 6'4", with a player that tall, that's another threat that you have in what's it called, dead balls, in corners, in free kicks. And that is something we've not really had since Fellaini was gone. Now, I do not want Fellaini gone in this team. He wasn't a very good footballer, but Fellaini was sure able to get some headers in those crucial moments. So if you can get a player like that again in this team, that would be very important. One thing I've liked so far from Yoro that I've seen is his ability to clear the ball, his ability to recover. Because again, with Martinez, I've said this before in other videos, Martinez is a very, he's an aggressive centre-back. He likes to go for the ball. He likes to win the ball. He's not scared to let the forwards know that he's there. But at times, that leads to mistakes. I'm not saying Martinez is mistake prone, but in football, that's just going to lead to mistakes. That's just going to lead to players running in behind you. You need a player like Leny Yoro who's able to recover. That's where I think Varane and Martinez gelled so well together. They were able to complement each other's game extremely, extremely well. Martinez was able to complement Varane's lack of aggressiveness. Martinez was able to complement that, and then Varane was of course able to complement Martinez. He's not so great recover ability, and so far this is what I think Leny Yoro can also bring to the team. We're gonna react to the Ligt next as well, but from Yoro, so far so good. Again, very important. This is again being pressed again. He keeps his calm, stays composed, and makes the right pass. Very, very important. And once again, I appreciate everyone watching, guys. If you're new to the channel and you want to watch more football content like this, be sure to subscribe. We're gonna be live every morning. And of course, 2 times a week, we're going to be doing the career mode. Very good tackle here again. Aggressive as well. Well done there. Very good ball recovery. And he keeps it playing. He won't just go recover the ball and leave it. He keeps it going. In some of these clips, he's reminded me a lot of Wan-Bissaka and Wan-Bissaka's tackling ability. Very, very impressive. Like here. It's like the way he just wraps his legs around the defenders like he has nowhere else to go. Imagine a back four of Wan-Bissaka Yoro, Martinez, and Luke Shaw. That's a very, very strong back four. That's up there as one of the best back fours in the whole league. I like that. I really like that. A very good tackle here as well. Staying calm, staying composed, making the right reads, making the right judgments at the right times. I love it. This is what we need more. This is what we need more of in this team. Good finish. That's his third goal. I'm counting his goal, guys. I'm counting his goals. That's his third goal. So again, he's that aerial threat that he can be as well. It's very important for this team because we don't score a lot of head. I mean, a lot from corners. We don't score a lot from set pieces. We will need that. But yeah, I'll leave the channel to Colo 90's channel in the description. But for now, guys, we move on to the main man, Matthijs de Ligt. Matthijs de Ligt. He seems to be the one Ten Hag wants. So we're gonna now react to Matthijs de Ligt. Again, with the Ligt, I'll just quickly say this. I'll quickly change it to the main camera. With the Ligt, we all know how good the Ligt is. We all know the Ligt's potential. You know, we've seen the Ligt at Ajax. We've seen the Ligt at Juventus. We've seen him at Bayern Munich. He's a very good player. There's, of course, the injury concerns with the Ligt. I'm not going to ignore that. I'm not going to gloss over that. There are, of course, injury concerns with Matthijs de Ligt. But my thing is, as good as this player is, do we take the chance? His relationship with Ten Hag, his leadership that's been talked about all over Europe, playing in the Netherlands, playing in Italy, playing in Germany. Again, experience. He's only 24 years old. De Ligt is going to turn 25 in August. But again, for a centre-back, he's not really hit his prime yet. And again, do we take that risk? And in my opinion, I think that's a very good risk to take. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There's plenty of signings at Manchester United that have also not planned out. But with De Ligt, you take that chance. And again, you just think about the backbone of this team. With De Ligt, with Martinez, and with Onana. It's like, those are Ten Hag's boys. These are class. They are very, very good football players. Do we take that chance? And in my opinion, we take that chance. But anyways, guys, let's get into this reaction. Let's look at Matthijs de Ligt and let's see what he can bring on to Manchester United. Again, very good on the ball as well. I think he's much slower than Leny Yoro. He's much slower, and I don't know how much of a problem that would be, but he's much slower. He's not Maguire slow, but he's much slower. But again, he's also way better. At least in my opinion, he's way more physical. De Ligt looks like a tank. This guy, he's been built like a tank since he came from Ajax. Like, this guy's an absolute tank. So we can rely on him to be physical, and that will translate into the Premier League, which is very good. But another thing is, De Ligt is also, again, as I said, much more experienced. So you think here against Real Madrid, he's able to read Vinny's moves. He's able to read Mbappe's moves. So as a first choice centre back, I'm still thinking De Ligt over Leny Yoro. And then you see also seeing the ball playing ability. What a pass from De Ligt! What a pass! Great block as well. Good read. Ball hands behind his back to not concede the penalty. De Ligt is also De Ligt is not short. De Ligt is extremely tall. I think De Ligt is about 6'1", 6'2". Very tall, very strong. As far as physical ability, you don't get much better than Matthijs de Ligt in world football. De Ligt is one of the best, at least he has one of the best physiques in football. Pause. But he has one of the best physiques in football, and we'll see how that. No, we'll see. I think that's going to translate very well to this team. And again, this is the third time. This is the third time in this video De Ligt is able to shut down Vinicius Jr. Is that experience? Is going up against one of the best players in the world, arguably Ballon d'Or winner, and in that game, De Ligt was shutting him down time and time again. And also, Yoro is good in the air. De Ligt is better in the air. I'm sorry. De Ligt is one of the best centre-backs that we have, at least when it comes to playing in the air. My only concern with De Ligt is how slow he is. Again, he's not Maguire slow, but he's quite slow. But everything else from De Ligt, I love it. His ball playing ability is outstanding, extremely strong. He's got experience. It's like it's kind of like an oxymoron at times. He's got experience, but he's not even 25 yet. You know what I mean? You're not going to like. This is a very niche player, and of course you had that thing of also the Bayern fans saying that they don't want the Ligt to go. It just shows that fans everywhere he goes, fans love the Ligt. What are you saying, Altaf, my guy? What are you saying, Altaf? Fans love the Ligt, and I think that at Manchester United, the Ligt is also going to get some of that love. You know, Manchester United fans, we've been dying for a centre back. For a centre back, you know, for quality centre backs. I think we had that last year with Varane and Martinez, but they of course got injured and now Varane wants to go. It's like we are still looking for that Vidic and Ferdinand partnership that we've not had for ages. So I think the Ligt and Martinez pair up very well. They have both played under a Ten Hag system, and they have both been successful at different times. Another thing with the Ligt is his leadership. We of course know that he was Ajax captain at the tender age of 19 when they won the league and they made that Champions League run when they beat Real Madrid and they got all the way to the Champions League semi-finals, and they were this close to making it to the finals if Lucas Moura didn't have. Oh, what a finish! Ooh, what a finish! Whoa, what a finish! Sign him. Sign him now. But as I was saying, he was of course the captain at Ajax when they made that incredible run, when they were able to, you know, make it all the way to the semi-finals. And if it wasn't for Lucas Moura having a moment of brilliance, they would have played in that final against Liverpool. So already you're seeing great things from this player, great things from Matthijs de Ligt, and you know, I like it. So far, I like it. I'm really in love with the way he plays. I like the fact that he knows how Ten Hag plays. I like the fact that Ten Hag trusts him. I like the fact that everyone only has positive things to say about Matthijs de Ligt, apart from his injuries, of course. He's everything you would want in a partner to you know, complement Martinez's game. He's tall, strong, good on the ball. He's experienced. He's one of the very best centre backs that we have in world football. Again, he just manhandles everyone. He manhandles everyone. Wow. Another great clearance there. You do not want the Ligt to get next to you. It's like in comparison, for example, you're comparing Braithwaite, Yoro to the Ligt. The Ligt is in a whole new tier. De Ligt is in a whole different level. He's in a different tier. So it's like, I really like Yoro, I really like Braithwaite, but De Ligt is on a different level. And I feel like if you can bring this guy in the team, you bring him in the team as soon as you can. A very good clearance there. Chases his man down, great tackle. This is the type of play we need in this team. Again, in the air, you're not gonna get much more solid than the Matthijs de Ligt. And in a second after this video, we're gonna go to FBRF and we're gonna look at their stats. We're gonna look at their games a bit more in depth. Good pass there. Again, in the air, he doesn't get much more solid than Matthijs de Ligt. Great clearance there. Well, I like it. I really like what we've seen from Matthijs de Ligt so far. Stays on his man. Good tackle there again against Vinny. Good on the ball. Strong on the ball. He's a monster. Matthijs de Ligt is a defensive monster, and we need him in our team. De Ligt is a monster, and we need him on this team. If you partner up De Ligt and Martinez, we will have arguably, at least we have the potential to have the best defense in the whole league. The Ligt and Martinez is up there with Gabriel. It is up there with whoever City want to partner up, if it's Stones and what's his name, and Ruben Diaz, or whoever City want to partner up. This partnership of the Ligt and what's his name, the Ligt and Martinez is up there as one of the very best in the whole competition. I'm sorry, but it is. It really is. Very good header as well. He's also able to score those headers. Fantastic. But anyways, guys, we'll pause it there. And actually, before I don't know if you guys know, let me know in the chat, please, if you know. Again, there's 23 people watching right now. I appreciate everyone. Big up to all of you guys watching right now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It really, really means the world. I'm trying to make this like a regular thing every morning. The live is not over yet, but I really appreciate you guys watching. We're going to go over to the stats now. And there's also United fans. Please let me know in the comments. There is what's his name? There's a player, Uruguay player, that Manchester United wanted to sell. Let me just go in my history. I think I searched him up earlier on. Just let me know in the comments if you guys know his name. Ugarte. That's the other guy. Just before we go over to the stats, guys, I just want to react very quickly to Ugarte. Yeah, here it is. Ugarte. I want to see like kind of a shorter video. I don't want a long video. I want a short video. Here it is. Ugarte. Ugarte right now is playing for Sporting. He could come to Man United, and of course, with Ugarte, with Casemiro gone, we need that other player that can come in and be, and just be a solid option for us. So we're gonna react to Ugarte right now, guys. Again, thank you very much to all of you watching. If you want more daily football content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be live every morning from now on. I also have a channel. Sorry, not channel. I also have a show, a live show coming up with my friend Yusuf. But yeah, also he's playing. Is he playing for PSG or Sporting? Who's Ugarte playing for right now? Because with Casemiro gone, I do not want to see Kobbie Mainoo playing as a CDM. He's playing for PSG right now. My bad, guys. He's not playing for Sporting. He's playing for PSG. I do not want to see Kobbie Mainoo playing as a CDM. Kobbie Mainoo is too good on the ball. He's too creative. Kobbie Mainoo can be that player that we need. That, can help us go forward and etc. I want to see Kobbie Mainoo playing in a more offensive role. So if we can bring in this guy, if we can bring in Ugarte to be the new Casemiro, I'll be happy with that. And another thing that I've said, if we're going to get Ligt, if we're going to get Martinez, you also need to make sure you have players in front of them. Look at this tackle. Beautiful so far already. He makes the tackle and straight away, first of all, perfect clean, gets up and progresses play. I love to see players that do that. But here's my point of view. If we are going to invest in a player to be, the new centre back, I think that there's no point in doing that if our CDM is also weak, because our centre backs are going to be exposed. If you want to build a solid defense, you also need a very solid CDM. You look at every team that's been successful over the years. You look at Barcelona with Sergio Busquets. You look at Real Madrid with Casemiro. Even when Xabi Alonso was there, they had Khedira in that team just to be that shield for Xabi Alonso. You look at Liverpool with Fabinho. You look at City with Rodri, with Yaya Toure, with Fernandinho. Every great team you look at, for example, that French team in the 90s with Makelele. You look at how good Real Madrid were in the early 2000s when they had Zidane and Makelele, and then you of course had Zidane being very upset when they sold Makelele to Chelsea and they bought in that David Beckham. Every successful team over the last few years, over the long few years, have had, Patrick Vieira with Arsenal. I'm just giving you examples. Kante with Chelsea and Leicester. You need a solid CDM. It is impossible for you to be a successful team, a team that challenges for things without solid CDM. And so far from this video, Ugarte seems very solid. Now it's going to be hard to get him away from PSG, but Ugarte so far looks very solid. He's very good on the tackle. I've not seen so much of him how good he's on the ball, but we do not need Ugarte to be a wizard with the ball, because we have Kobe Mainu, we have Fernandez. All we need Ugarte to do is for him to be solid, to be a cleaner, to be a sweeper, to protect Martinez and the Ligt, or Martinez and Yoro, or Martinez and Branthwaite, whoever comes in. And then we just need him to be, you know, that shot for the team. And so far, for Uruguay in Copa America, he's been amazing. For PSG, he was very good this season. But again, in a minute after this video, we're going to go over to the stats and we're going to look at the Ligt, Yoro, Ugarte, and Zirkzee, and we're going to see how good these guys have been over the season, at least in terms of their stats. But so far from Ugarte, I'm loving it. Very good on the ball. He seems calm, seems composed, seems like he likes to make the right read. I love it. But once again, guys, you're making me so happy right now that there's so many of you guys watching. It really means the world to me. Once again, big up to all of you watching. If you want to watch more football content, if you want to watch regular football content on this channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because we'll be live every morning. I'm also going to be streaming the final on Sunday, and then we're going to do a little, before the final, sorry, we're going to do a little career mode on FIFA, or on FC. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, we're just going to continue to do this analysis. Hopefully we do this analysis every morning of the new transfers. And of course, when the season starts, we're going to do an analysis of everything that's going on in world football. But yeah, Ugarte, extremely solid, good on the ball. And, you know, he's not tall, but he's got kind of like a frame to him. He seems like, again, I want players that can come in the team and be physical. The Premier League is extremely fast-paced, extremely physical. There's no point for us to bring in players that are flimsy and can easily be injured. I also don't know a lot about Ugarte's injury record, so we're going to look at that. But from what I've heard so far, there's not really much to be worried about. Good tackle. And you just think about this Uruguay team. They've got Ugarte, they've got Valverde. Extremely solid midfield. I love it. Wins the ball. Oh, there it is. Good turn there. And just the way he chases down players. You're going to need a player like this against Foden, against De Bruyne. I always remember this game against Chelsea. I don't know if you guys know, but the game against Chelsea, Manchester United, when Herrera was still in the team, Herrera was a pest. He was all over Hazard. And, you know, when you're going up against these bigger teams with these amazing players, you need a guy like Ugarte who can be that pest, who's just there to annoy the other player, to put them off the flow. I think that's very, very important. But yeah, so far the eye test for Ugarte says yes. Get this guy in the team. The eye test is happy. I am happy with Ugarte so far. Again, we've just hit 300 views, and we've not even been live for an hour yet. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I know it's early in the morning. I mean, it's now 12 p.m. But I appreciate all of you guys watching. I know some of you have work, you've got school, but you're here watching. So thank you very much, guys. Clean tackle, clean tackle. But yeah, so far the eye test for Ugarte says yes. I like it. I've liked what I've seen. But now, guys, it's time to do the analyst. It's time to bring the analyst in me, and we're going to quickly go over to the stats, and we're going to look at the numbers for Ugarte, Ligt, Zirkzee, and etc. Again, if you guys don't know FBRF, it is a very good website that tells you the stats for the players. And I think I want to start with Zirkzee. And I also want to go to Zirkzee, and I want to go over to Zirkzee's transfer market. Let's see what Zirkzee was able to produce this season for Bologna. So this year, 23-24, let's see what Zirkzee was able to do. I hope you guys can see this properly. Let me try and zoom in a bit more. Can you guys see it properly? Are we good? Just let me know in the chat, of course, if you guys can see it properly. So this year, Zirkzee has had 13. Whoa, this is not right. 23-24. Perfect. So this year, Zirkzee played 34 games, which means he was a regular starter. He scored 11 goals and 5 assists. Now, let's compare this to my boy Højlund. Because really and truly, these stats, like these numbers, again, let's not judge a player just on their numbers, but these numbers aren't really moving me in terms of Zirkzee. You know, 11 goals and 4 assists in 34 games played, you being the #1 option for Bologna. When my boy Højlund had, you know, similar numbers in 9 goals and 4 assists, of course, you know, you still need Zirkzee, even if Zirkzee is not a starter, you still need Zirkzee to at least come in and at worst be the second option. So no. Højlund scored 10 goals and he had 2 assists. Again, very similar to overall. Højlund had 12 goal contributions. Overall, Zirkzee had 16 goal contributions. So again, not very far from each other. No, and you know, in all competitions, Zirkzee had 12 goals and 7 assists, whereas Højlund had 16 goals and 2 assists. So yeah, at worst, Zirkzee is gonna come in and be the second option. But something we saw from Zirkzee in the video that we watched is that Zirkzee is an extremely, how do you say it? Extremely versatile player. He's very talented. He's very good on the ball. Again, he's 193. Højlund is 191. So they're both also very tall. You know, we need players that are also able to be threats in the air. So just quick on his overall stats. Wow, you guys really can't see this. Let me just move this over. That's a bit better. Zirkzee, he's in. Where I want to see his offensive stats. Offensive stats for Zirkzee, please. Pass types, no. Here it is. Goal and shot creation. Just bear with me, guys. Give me 1 second. So yeah, so Zirkzee is per 90. He's averaging 1.7 successful take-ons. So yeah, so he's one of the better players in Europe, at least when it comes to taking on players. Touches inside the attacking penalty box is 4. He's also averaging 2 progressive passes. Pass completion. His XG per 90 is 0.2, which is not the best. It's all right. 0.1 assists. Expected goals. Again, the stats aren't everything. That's why we did the little eye test, because the stats, 3.1 shot creating actions per 90. I think that's quite good. But yeah, the stats aren't really moving me for Zirkzee. They aren't. They seem alright. Again, from the eye test, we see that he's a very good player. He can really grow into becoming an even better player under Ten Hag. And again, how old is Zirkzee? He is 2001. He's 23 years old. So again, extremely relatively young. But again, let's leave Zirkzee for a second. Let's move on to my boy Leny Yoro. His pass competition is quite good, but I want to see for Yoro. Oh, sorry guys. I like FBRF, but it's a bit confusing at times. So we're just going to go over to SofaScore, and we're going to look at Yoro stats on SofaScore. Leny Yoro. Here it is. Let me move the cam there for a second. There you go, guys. That's a bit better. So, yeah, here it is. Yoro, he's averaging 1.1 interceptions per 90, which is good. 1.1 tackles. But the stat that really impresses me for Yoro is this one. He's averaging 3.9 recoveries per 90. 3.9 recoveries per 90. If you know anything about the way Martinez likes to play, I said this before, but he's a very aggressive player. He likes to go for the ball. He likes to go forward. He likes to win the ball back. So for Leny Yoro, it's going to be very important to see how he's able to, you know, help Martinez in that regard. And his 3.9 recoveries per 90 are very, very inspiring. Very, very inspiring, because it just means that, again, he's already, and again, 3 clearances per 90. With the way Martinez likes to play, that's a very, very good thing. But I just want to quickly then go over to the Ligt and see what the Ligt is averaging, at least in comparison to Yoro. The Ligt is averaging 2 clearances per 90. He's recovering the ball 3.3. So again, similar types with Yoro, of course. I mean, Yoro being, of course, a bit higher. But I think that's what comes down to the fact that Lille are a team to or at least Bayern Munich aren't really a team to be how do you say it, to be attacked as much. Bayern Munich like to have the ball, they like to be aggressive, and that's not really their game to defend all the time. But again, quick video on Zirkzee here. Let's see what the boy Atlantis Football has to say about Zirkzee. I'll of course leave the link to Atlantis Football link in the description if you guys want to go over and react to him. But let's just quickly see what he has to say about the boy Zirkzee, because I think Atlantis Football, he done a very good job here, making a bit more in-depth thingy on Zirkzee. Let's react to it.
Much better stylistic fit to get the best out of. So I think that Joshua Zirkzee is a much better stylistic fit to get the best out of Marcus Rashford than Rasmus Højlund is. And so given that it seems like Zirkzee will sign for Ten Hag's United after the Euros, I think that means Rashford has to stay. Because if Rashford is sold and Zirkzee is brought in, I don't see a direct replacement on the market who can play that wide forward role from the left side that I think would work best with Zirkzee dropping off into deeper areas than Marcus Rashford can.
Again, I don't think we should be selling Rashford anyways. I think we should be keeping Rashford. I think that Rashford is, he's had a bad year per se. Not per se. He had a bad year. But I still think you keep Marcus Rashford and you see where that goes. Of course, if after this year he's still not as good, if he's still not as impactful, if he still doesn't perform as well, I think you get rid of him. But if you're looking at the way this team wants to set up this, if you're looking at the way that this team wants to go about forwards, and then if you sell Rashford, you only have Garnacho on the left. I think you keep Rashford, you keep Garnacho, and we'll see what happens this season.
As well as,
but yeah, I really like this team with Ligt, Zirkzee, and Ugarte. 3 players that we watched this morning, 3 signings that we are looking to make.
Mount and Fernandes from midfield can provide those forward runs ahead of Zirkzee that will either work to allow them to run into the space in behind the back line created by Zirkzee's deeper movement, or drag the centre-backs in the midfield deeper closer to their own goal, which will open up space for Zirkzee to receive the ball and turn. And to be honest, with Ugarte also likely coming in, you could have Manu and Mount alternating that role alongside Bruno Fernandes ahead of Ugarte, with the Uruguayan holding his position in the rest defence whilst Manu, Bruno and Dalot from deep provide runs ahead of Zirkzee into the final third.
I think it's like paramount for us at this point to get in, what's his name? I think it's paramount for us at this point to get in Ugarte, because with Casemiro gone, you're going to need that player in Ugarte who's able to be that CDM. Again, there's no point in us going to sign Ligt, signing Braithwaite or Yoro if our midfield problems are going to be the same. You have to kind of not fix the whole team at once, but at least plug in the major holes. And the major holes in this team right now are of course centre back in the CDM. You need to get these 2 holes fixed. If you only fix the CDM and we have a crap centre back, the CDM is going to get exposed. If we only get in a centre back and we don't get a CDM, the centre back is going to get exposed. I think you need to fill in these holes appropriately and try and get it all in at the same time, or try and get it all in one transfer window.
Zirkzee is essentially the same style of striker that Martial was, though I do think Martial is better with his back to goal when he's dropping, receiving the ball to.
From what I've seen, I think Zirkzee is a little bit better on the ball
and then looking to roll the defender, while Zirkzee is better when dropping slightly deeper to receive the ball, and he's almost like a 6th midfielder rather than a forward himself. And this is where Marcus Rashford comes into play. But before I tactically break down how Rashford and Zirkzee could form a deadly attacking duo, if you want to pick up any of the Euro 2024 news,
sorry bro, no free promos.
Is nowhere near consistent enough to be world class. When he's at his best, he definitely has world class capabilities, and he's able to win you a game in a blink of an eye. And it was only the season before last where he scored 30 goals and assisted 10 in 56 games across the 22.
Again, these numbers from Rashford, 30 goals and 10 assists, are world class. But as Atlantis said here very well, the problem with Rashford is his ability to stay consistent. I love Marcus Rashford. You guys know how much I love Marcus Rashford. But if he can't stay consistent, we cannot give him the world-class label. If Rashford does this again this year, and we bring in Zirkzee, I'm telling you, this year we'll go places. As well with the Europa League, where teams from the Champions League can no longer drop in the Europa League, this team can go places. But again, we need to bring in the right players. We must bring in the right players to this team.
23 season, but that season was sandwiched between two rather horrifically looking statistical seasons for Rashford in terms of goal involvements anyway, as in 21-22 it was just 5 goals and 2 assists in 33 games, and this season just finished, he only hit 8 goals and 5 assists in 43.
8 goals and 5 assists is awful. That is awful. Look, I love Marcus Rashford, but 8 goals and 5 assists in 43 games is awful. And this is the reason why a lot of fans are calling for Rashford to be sold. I still would like to keep Marcus Rashford, but you know, if we sell him, I understand why.
Games. However, his tallies in 2020-2021 of 21 goals and 13 assists in 57 games, and 2019-2020's total of 22 goals and 10 assists in 44 games.
Man, it's that thing, is that inconsistency that we get with Marcus Rashford. Very good player, but he's too inconsistent.
Shows that Rashford in the last 5 seasons has had 1 elite level season in Ten Hag's first year, 2 that I would describe as very good seasons from 2019 to 2020.
Yo, United Mafia, big bro, saw you on KG's channel. That's why I'm here. Yo, bro, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate you. And shout out to KG as well. Shout out to big bro KG. But yeah, United Mafia, seriously, that comment really means a lot. Thank you very much for saying that, bro. I appreciate you being here. But let's carry on.
1 and 2 completely below standard seasons as well. And so I think if Ten Hag wants to get the best out of United as a whole, he absolutely has to work out how to get the best out of Rashford. But alongside a centre forward like Zirkzee coming into
But that's paramount. You overall need to get the best out of your players, but the reason why I think he must really get the best out of Marcus Rashford is because when Rashford is at his best, I know a lot of people will want to hear me saying this, but I'll say it anyways. When Marcus Rashford is at his best, he is a world-class player. I'm sorry, but it's true.
I got it. I did not see this coming.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
In a million years,
Marcus Rashford,
I did not see
when he
this
is
coming.
at his best, he's a world-class player. Now, the problem with Rashford is getting the best out of him. It's getting Rashford to play at that world-class level. And again, what Atlantis is saying here is that if we get in Zirkzee, then maybe we're going to be able to see that Rashford again. And I think that's important. I think if that's a chance you can take, you take that chance, and we see how well they can partner up together. I think you take that chance.
Team, I also think Rashford would need an overlapping left back behind him, at least in most games. And this is because I often...
Sorry to pause the video again, but it's just like, you know, you have a striker, something that Holland was doing a lot, but Zirkzee, he's going to get in a lot of attention. With Zirkzee getting in a bit deeper, that opens up so much space for Rashford. It opens up so much space as well for Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo to play those balls in for Rashford. And I think we're going to be able to see another great year from Rashford. But again, I told you guys this before. I need to see 3 years of consistency for Rashford for me to call him a certified world-class player, because we can't keep getting the same inconsistency for Rashford year in and year out. We need to see Rashford being consistent for us to finally give him the verdict of him being a world-class player.
I feel that when Rashford receives possession on the left flank, if he doesn't immediately have runners ahead to either offer him a passing option forward or drag the opposition defenders away, creating the space for Rashford to move into on the inside, then he just becomes far too indecisive and predictable. And I think there's a pretty obvious, relatively inexpensive option, and that is Sergio Reguilón, who United could surely get on a season-long loan for around £3 million, and then if he impresses next season, you can just sign him next summer on a free when his contract at Tottenham expires. And given that the Spaniard is still only 27, he should still hold a value of between £10 to £15 million over the next couple of years. But crucially, on the pitch he has the athleticism, pace and output in the final third to provide Rashford with the necessary forward runs. But how would this work tactically?
We already had Reguilón, man. I don't want this guy back on the team. Reguilón, he's too sus. I'm sorry. Defensively, he's a liability. Going forward, he may be alright, but Reguilón, defensively, I'm sorry guys, but Reguilón is a liability defensively. I'd love to have him on the team, but I need to see more from Reguilón. Let's carry on.
Well, it would require one of Lisandro Martinez or Kobbie Mainoo to hold this wide left position in the rest defence to provide the defensive security for Reguilón to push further forward, with Dalot also on the far side holding a deeper, narrower position either in the back three or pushed into an inverted midfield position in order to...
So pretty much the same thing that the boy, that Henderson was doing for Trent. When Trent was going a bit more forward with Salah, you kind of had Henderson being, you know, that second option or helping to close down that gap or that empty space. We could see Manu doing that. I don't really want to see Manu doing that. I just think that Manu is so good on the ball that, you know, you kind of want Manu a bit more involved. But yeah, if that happens, and again, I still think Luke Shaw can do that. I'm pretty confident Luke Shaw can be that overlapping fullback. The problem with Luke Shaw right now is that we don't know how healthy he's going to be. What are you saying, my boy Louis? Big up Louis. We don't know how healthy or how consistent Luke Shaw is going to be. So that's the biggest problem, really.
To provide the defensive balance on the far side. Luke Shaw, if he had reliable fitness, would have been perfect for this sort of attacking pattern of play, which we saw a glimpse of last season in the away game against Wolves when a quick switch of play enabled United to create a 2v1 on the far side, and Rashford's pass down the outside of the fullback and Shaw's well-timed run were completely in sync, and this led to Shaw getting into a crossing position close to the byline and creating the goal for Højlund. Zirkzee's ability to float into deep positions and even...
As I've said, like, you can get that out of Luke Shaw. It's just you don't know how healthy Luke Shaw is going to be. Hendo would make the run to create space for Salah inside or Trent out wide. Yeah. But again, I don't know if Manu can play that role, and I don't know if I want to see Manu play that role just because of how good Manu is on the ball. I want to see Manu involved with the play. I want to see Manu involved with the team. So I don't know if I really want to see that. But again, it makes sense at least on paper.
With 1 or 2 touch layoffs, but also being able to turn and drive forward with the ball if the space is...
It's coming home. Yo, we'll find it on Sunday. Bro, this England team... Go TJVM dangerous. Yo, this England team. Oh, go TJVM. Yo, this guy. This guy. Yeah, bro. But just quickly, this England team, they've been stressing me out. It's like every game, yeah, they're gonna lose, and then they win, and they've been winning it in the most ridiculous ways possible. Like Bellingham, last minute bicycle kick. Saka. Towards the end of the game, puts the ball behind the net. Watkins comes in. Like, this team, as sus as Southgate is, this team's got character. That's something I'll give these lads. They've got character, and they are not going to back down. So England could beat Spain. Am I going to bet on that? Not really, but they could win that game.
Granted to him means that opposition centre-backs are going to be reluctant to hold a position in the back line and not stay close with Zirkzee, which is going to be the first chess move in the sequence for Rashford to eventually make the run into. From here, Reguilón can move up the line and Manu can drift from a central position into a slightly wider position on the left, which should work to drag one of the opposition's central midfielders out of the midfield line and open up space centrally for Zirkzee to drop into, then allowing Rashford to make the move in field, with Sergio Reguilón then able to overlap into the space created as the opposition right back gets dragged inside with Rashford's run. If the ball is worked quickly and efficiently through the lines, either Rashford on the inside or Reguilón on the outside should be able...
We played with no left wing, all down the right wing with Foden at 10 on the right as well. I got a dip, but shoot me, cool soon, big dog. Yo, shout out to Louis, Thank you for coming in, bro. Thank you for coming through, Louis.
To receive the ball in behind the opposition's back line. And so the effect of Zirkzee as a centre forward...
And by the way, guys, I can read. I just, I've got 2 monitors, and one of my monitors, the screen is very small. So, like, reading the letters, they're like too small. I can read. It's just the screen is very far away from me.
I just think he's so good in these deeper areas that the opposition has to have someone following him on his back, which has the effect of opening up the initial space for Rashford or Reguilón to exploit later on in the move. Okay. Now, I have got a previous video describing the tactical difference between Zirkzee and Højlund.
Again, shout out to Atlantis Football. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. Be sure to check him out. But I just want to watch from one more video from Atlantis because I think he does these breakdowns very, very well. And that'll be of Ugarte. This will be the last video we'll make it before the stream ends. But I think Ugarte is going to be an instrumental signing this year. I mean, this summer. I think that if you don't get in Ugarte, you may as well not get in the other lads. You need Ugarte in this team. You need Ugarte in this team. The CDM and the centre-back positions need to happen simultaneously. If they don't happen simultaneously, then there's no point. There's no point of getting in any more players. Let's go.
Manchester United have been linked with both Manuel Ugarte and Edison Alvarez, but would I sign either? Well, neither would be my first choice, as that would be Amadou Onana, as I just think that given all three would cost between 50 to 60 million pounds, Onana is probably the best option for that price range. I think in possession...
Yeah, but Onana on the ball, it doesn't convince me, bro. Like, defensively, Onana is good, but on the ball, he does not move me. That's the problem with Onana.
In terms of having the ability to manipulate the ball efficiently in congested areas, as well as being able to progress the ball
forward. There was a comment there. Onana doesn't convince. Yeah, it doesn't convince me, bro. Like, on the ball, he does not move me. I'm sorry.
Via incisive or long passes, alongside carrying the ball into open...
He nearly lost the ball there. Like...
space, Onana is the best out of the three in all of these categories, whilst also having the athleticism and acceleration to move across the pitch and break up play as well. But let's rule out Onana for this video and just focus on these two.
I think out of the three, Onana is like on this, especially with Ugarte, I think Onana is on par with them in terms of defensive ability. But on the ball, I think Ugarte and Onana exist in different worlds. I think Ugarte is much better on the ball.
If they were to both cost, let's say, between 50 to 55 million pounds each, who would I sign? Well, for me, it would have to be Ugarte. Edison Alvarez isn't a bad player by any means, but I just don't think he's good enough in possession for what United need.
Exactly.
I think Ugarte is a far better retainer of possession, as his FBref report over the past 360 days shows a player who has a very high pass completion.
He's completing 91% of his... Again, we've already reacted in the stream to how good Ugarte is defensively, but then you're seeing he's completing 91 passes, 91% of his passes, but he's also he's attempting 61, so that's a lot. He's again 55 passes completed per 90. That's very good. He's completing most of his passes, very good defensively. His long ball passes is alright, 82%, so that's still good. So yeah, at least when it comes to passing, he's much better than these guys on the ball. Much better.
Rate, particularly for his medium and long passes.
Once again, this stream has been fantastic, guys. I appreciate all of you watching. If you want to watch more regular content, more morning streams, be sure to subscribe. But we'll carry on.
I also think in general he's better technically than Alvarez, being a lot more comfortable in receiving the ball in congested areas around his own box, where he is able to get the ball out of his feet and find a pass quickly to keep play circulating.
I'm sorry, Onana cannot do that. Onana cannot do that. Onana cannot do that. I'm sorry. Ugarte is very good on the ball. Onana cannot do that. I've seen enough from this guy. He's not as good as Ugarte on the ball at all.
Ugarte by no means is a deeper lying playmaker, but like both Onana and Alvarez, he played a role of a ball-winning anchorman, someone who primarily will sit behind the ball when United have possession, the majority of the time taking up a position in the 3-2 or 3-1 rest defence, with his primary objective being to anticipate where there could be a turnover and where to move in order to stop a counter-attack as quickly as possible. Unlike Onana and Alvarez, Ugarte excels at doing this, as his FBref report shows, as he ranks in the top 1%.
Strong. Damn, did you see that? Just got him off the ball twice.
Ugarte excels at doing this.
Wait, not this one.
As his FBref report shows, as he ranks...
Damn. He just floored him. I need these players on my team. I need these strong, aggressive players on my team. I need them. Our team is too flimsy, too weak, especially with like Kobe Mainu next to him. Mainu, he's good defensively, but he still needs to grow into his frame. If you get an enforcer like Ugarte, teams will slow, and then you also get Ligt. Our defense is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing next year.
In the top 1% for the amount of dribblers he has tackled, challenged, and his combined tackles and interceptions.
Like, your 99 percentile means he's one of the very best. Like, we're talking about top 3, top 2 in Europe. 4 tackles per 90. I like that. I don't know about you guys, but I like that. I like that. Dribbles tackled, dribbles challenged. One out as well, the interceptions, he's averaging almost 2 interceptions per 90, which also puts him in the 96th percentile. I am liking what I'm seeing from Ugarte. I like that.
Whilst also ranking in the 96th percentile for his interceptions alone.
As I said, there you go.
Virus's FBref report in the Premier League is similarly impressive from a statistical point of view, but from watching both, I just feel that defensively, Ugarte is as good as you can get from a ball-winning midfielder, and really is that Kante-like player that you want sitting behind the ball, there to purely break up the play. But before I go any further, if you want to pick up any his main progressive passer against deep defensive blocks, but Martinez behind him is as good as most deeper line playmakers in the Premier League at doing this, and so given that in the build-up phase, Ugarte is more than competent at dropping in as a single pivot or in a double pivot alongside Manu, and utilising those 1 and 2 touch bounce passes to link play between the back line and midfield line, I think Ugarte in the midfield alongside Manu, with Martinez and another ball-playing centre-back behind, is perfectly balanced. And to be honest,
I like that. Again, if you're talking about Martinez, Ugarte, and Ligt, or Martinez, Ugarte, and Branthwaite, I like that. I'm impressed. I like that team.
There isn't much between Onana and Ugarte, but my personal preference is the Everton man, as I just feel that his potential is a lot higher.
I disagree. I'm sorry. Onana on the ball does not sniff Ugarte. Onana on the ball, he's very flimsy. He's very clumsy. He's all over the place. I don't like him on the ball. Defensively, he's very good, but I do not like Onana on the ball.
Him having better technical ability in congested areas, as well as having a better eye for an incisive pass between the lines, but mainly his athleticism in the centre of the pitch and his aerial and physical dominance just gives him the edge for me. But if not Onana, I'd be happy with Ugarte for around £45 to £55 million, as he only turned 23 in April, and given that he's reportedly already...
And he's only 23? 23 years old? And we're trying to build this team to, be able to do stuff in the future. Get him on the team as soon as possible, please.
On about £5 to £6 million a year at PSG. Realistically, his salary at United should be around £8 to £9 million, which I think is fair for a player of his ability, whilst also factoring in his potential. But from a tactical point of view, what would be Ugarte's role in Ten Hag's system? Well, assuming that United also bring in a left back and a centre back who can defend high 1v1 on the halfway line, when United are looking to press the opposition during the build-up phase, Ugarte would sit alongside Lisandro Martinez, performing a man-to-man pressing role behind Manu, Fernandes and the rest of the midfield line, who would look to squeeze up into the opposition's defensive third. And so if the opposition were using a standard 4-3-3 with a single pivot, this is what it would look like: Ugarte and Lisandro Martinez pushed up almost as a double pivot ahead of United's back three, with both Ugarte and Martinez picking up the players in the half space. And having two players like Martinez and Ugarte who are very good front foot defenders, tenacious in the tackle, in this deeper midfield area, as well as a back three that's competent being 1v1 on the halfway line, is going to allow United to commit more men forward to the press, enabling Ten Hag to go man for man with all players in the defensive third apart from the goalkeeper. But this of course would be dependent on one of the back line pushing up into the midfield line. For me that would be Lisandro Martinez. But if this didn't happen and United were keeping two players back with the opposition's number 9, you would have one less player in this frontline press in the opposition's defensive third, and so they would have an overload of two players, one outfield player and of course the goalkeeper. And that's why it's so important that Ten Hag does go man for man on the halfway line, and why it's imperative that regardless of whether
again this is just fine details. How Ten Hag sets up, we'll find that out later.
Role in possession as well, with the Uruguayan sitting behind the play in a rest defence shape, maybe a 2-3 or a 1-3, obviously depending on the game state as well as how aggressive Ten Hag wants his counter press. And
again, so I'll pause it there because I think we've seen enough from Ugarte. We've watched videos on Ugarte. We watched this analysis again. Great video from Atlantis once again. But for now, I really just want to talk to you guys about, again, let me know in the chat who you guys want United to sign. Again, I can't say thank you enough to all of you who've watched this morning, guys. Thank you very much. I want to make this a regular morning thing, and you guys have really motivated me today to do that. But we'll stop it here, guys. Thank you very much for watching to the end. You're much appreciated. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all these things to please help me grow this channel. And as per usual, I'll see you guys soon. We'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about to talk a bit more about football, there's going to be a video out at 5 p.m. Daily football content, guys. We're really, really pushing for it this summer. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.